Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's 2021. Where are we going with this? I am challenging, excuse me. Hey y'all. Welcome back to my channel. It is 2021 finally, and I'm back with a new video. Funny thing about this video today, I am trying to film this and I have my phone right here and I'm trying to do this Instagram reel, and y'all, I am an old lady. Like, I don't know how to do this. I can't keep up with y'all young kids. I'm gonna do the best that I can, but I have these lipsticks that are not new, but they're new to me, and they're by Flight Beauty. This is actually by a girl that I went to college with, and I am so glad to see her thriving and doing well. And she is actually a flight attendant herself, and she came out with these liquid lipsticks, and the name of her brand is Flight Beauty. And I did swatch them, and so far from what I can tell, they are bomb. And I promised her an Instagram reel, and I'm so embarrassed because I just haven't gotten it out yet. So that is on the list of priorities today, as well as getting out this video. So someone told me in my comment section that you guys, or they in particular, prefer when I do talk through videos versus voiceover because it gives you guys kind of a look inside at my personality, which I know that talk through videos are better, y'all, but they're so hard for me. I live with other people. It's like I'm still not comfortable talking to my camera, but this is not just about me. This is about you guys, and I want you guys to enjoy the content that you see here. So if talk-throughs is what you want, talk-throughs is what you are going to get. This year, I'm going to be giving more of myself, and I'm going to be talking on camera a little bit more. If you hear a baby crying out, that is my 1-year-old, and just don't pay that no mind, okay? We just gonna keep moving like she's not crying. Oh, she is supervised. Her dad is home. I was gonna do at least a video a week for Vlogmas, but that has come and gone, and I haven't had a chance to do that. So what I am gonna do is just kick off the year with a video of just not really so much a recap of 2020, but just what's been going on with me. Just kind of chatty kind of video while I beat my face, because I want to have a nice full coverage beat for this Instagram reel while I display this lipstick. So I am already very moisturized, as you can see the glaze on my face. I used the e.l.f. skincare line, which is what I have continued to use since my skincare video. I have had a lot of breakouts lately. I don't really know what that's about. I actually do know what it's about. I think it's like the whole mask thing. My face just feels overwhelmed. We not tripping because we about to cover all of that up. We want a full coverage beat today. My hair is kind of just doing its own thing this morning. I am wearing my Jessica Simpson PJs that I got from TJ Maxx. So let's just talk a little bit about 2020. It was a complete and utter mess for a lot of us, but you know, a lot of blessings came out of 2020 for me personally, so I'm not gonna totally just shit on the year. 2020, I became a mommy, and that was probably the most eventful aspect of my year. I actually became a mom at the end of 2019, but as far as me like learning the ropes and everything, and like actually, you know, doing it on my own without the assistance of hospital nurses and things like that, I mean, 2020 was it. I gave birth at the end of 2019, and I've been a mom all year, and she's still here. She's 1 year old, and she's 1 year old. She is thriving, and I'm so proud of me and my husband for the little person that we are raising. She is so good, y'all. Like, I could not have asked for a better little baby. Like, she's just perfect. Okay, so I had started doing my brows on camera, and then I was like, why am I doing that? Because I have an eyebrow tutorial that is just strictly eyebrows only that you guys can certainly click on after this video to just see how I do my brows. Nothing about my method has changed, so I went ahead and popped my eyebrows on really quick. We were talking about quarantine and me becoming a mom this year. So yeah, ultimately that has been so rewarding. I mean, it has been very lonely, I must say. I was actually just talking to my husband about this because a friend of ours posted on her Instagram feed, you know, just random info about pregnancy, and I felt like one thing in particular that she posted about pregnancy and just being like postpartum, it just really resonated with me, and that was like the loneliness. Like when you're pregnant and when you have your baby, like within that first couple of months, I mean, you're kind of sort of dead to people. Like, I know that sounds really harsh, but that's what it seems like. I mean, obviously they assume that you are like in nesting mode and just getting acclimated to either getting through the pregnancy or just being a new mom in general. So they don't really invite you out to do things socially as much, and just going through quarantine with it at the same time, it's even harder because, I mean, even if you are invited, I mean, technically, I mean, you kind of are, you know, confined to your house for a number of reasons. So yeah. Oh, and just really quick, so you know what I use. So for my brows, I did use the Mented Brow or Later brow pencil. For primer, I used the Maybelline Master Prime Face Studio Primer Base. I know, or I just kind of knew in general that, you know, being a parent was gonna just be like the best thing ever, and that you have never felt a love like what you feel when you become a parent. I mean, I knew that before I was a parent, but it's like becoming a parent, I still feel like I realize it so much more now. The foundation that I'm using is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation, and I just took the same brush that I carved my brows out with to apply that all over the face. And I'm trying to think, do I want to blend this with a sponge? I think I want to blend this out with a sponge, and I just bought me some new sponges, which is like one of the first things I've done for myself in a long time. I went to Target and TJ Maxx yesterday, and it was awesome just to get out of the house and just kind of do something for myself, which was like, I just did a little bit of shopping and picked up some things I needed. And I've been washing like my beauty sponges for a while, but I really needed to get some new ones because it was getting to the point where I couldn't get that makeup stain out, and that's when you know it's time to go ahead and toss them. So I got a 2-pack of these Sonia Kouchik sponges from Target. They're really affordable. I got a pack of 2 for like $7, and they're like really fat, and I like to blend it out on the black side so that you know, that stain doesn't get as embedded in the white side. But yeah, these sponges are really, really good. As you can see, they cover a lot of ground pretty quickly. And this is looking really full coverage already. I thought I was going to have to add some more foundation, but I probably did a little bit of overkill on that. All the products that I'm using today are hydrating. I used the e.l.f. skincare, which I mentioned earlier in the video. And I didn't use my daily moisturizer. I actually used my night cream to moisturize my face. And I'm just using what's left over on this sponge to blend up into my forehead. I didn't apply the foundation directly to my forehead just because my hair hangs over and my forehead skin is already really suffering from that. So the less product up there, the better. But we do just want to kind of blend out the edges of those brows and get just a little bit of coverage up there. So what the residue that's left on my sponge is good enough to do that. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, all of my products today are hydrating. So I used the night cream because honestly I was too lazy to run downstairs. My moisturizer, my daily moisturizer is downstairs, and I was too lazy to run downstairs and get that. And then the Fenty foundation that I'm using is their hydrating long wear foundation. Yeah, it's cold outside. It's a rainy day. I'm about to be in the house. I feel like that's the perfect time. I shouldn't be doing like a lot of sweating. I won't be wearing a mask, thank God. So yeah, hydrating products are perfect for today's tutorial. For concealer, again, a hydrating product, we're going to use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. It's a 16-hour camo concealer, and I'm using the shade Deep Olive. I am not on TikTok, but a YouTuber that I like to watch did some TikTok like makeup hacks, and he said that it's better to apply your concealer in the manner that I'm doing versus doing that triangle down, because he said that the triangle shape downward kind of drags all of this down this way. I was actually trying to find some makeup TikToks so that I could figure out how to effectively do this real and not look completely crazy. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. He said to let it sit for like 3 to 5 minutes and let it dry down because it gives you an even more full coverage, and you have to use a hydrating concealer in order to do this. While that's sitting, I'm gonna apply the Black Opal True Color foundation stick, and this is in the shade Ebony Brown. I might even just be daring and try to contour my nose with this. Okay, I'm scared. And then I'm gonna go under the jawline just a little bit. When I do the under the jawline contour, I've been trying to go like almost completely under the chin, because I found like when I look back at footage, I was going a little too high up and it was looking real stupid. Using a e.l.f. Foundation brush, I'm just gonna blend that kind of backwards, not forward. I was about to start blending it forward, but then I realized that's not what I want to do, because that's gonna have me looking real muddy, and we want these cheeks to be sculpted and high. We don't want to look muddy at all. But yeah, Olivia, my baby, she is such a happy baby, and she is so sweet. I mean, she has her moments where she gets like irritable and stuff, but for the most part she is just really, she's been really easy. Like, she has been really easy to raise. She does have some difficulty. I mean, I had difficulty in the beginning just feeding her because of like my lactation journey was kind of tough, because I had no idea that breastfeeding was so tedious and so hard. No idea. Like, I thought that my boobs would just fill up with milk, and that I would feel swollen and tight when they did fill up, and that I would just pump it off and have like gallons and gallons and gallons of milk just falling out of my freezer. Nope. Did not happen that way at all. And she's such a picky eater now. Like, she is so picky about what she puts in her mouth. Like, she is very much a texture person. And I'm saying put in her mouth as far as like food, because she will find like random crap on the floor or even the floor itself and try to like eat that. But she does not like the puff cereals and all those like cool little baby snacks, which they don't really taste great, but dang, like I would think she would give like some of it a try. She's like, mama, I don't want that. Okay, I think that foundation has been sitting long enough, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I mean, that, not the foundation, the concealer has been sitting long enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start to blend that out with my sponge, and it's not blending. I hope it hasn't been sitting too long. I hope it hasn't been sitting too long. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff about motherhood that I had completely wrong in my head that I didn't realize, but we're learning. I'm just trying to juggle motherhood and also juggle just still, you know, being myself. I think that's been kind of challenging for me, just still hanging on to who I am as a person. I mean, obviously a major thing about me has changed, so I don't want to sound selfish like I'm just worried about myself, but it is important to feel like yourself again at some point. As you guys know, if you watch my Skims video, I am pregnant again. So yeah, we're like starting over, but it's cool though. Like, I think that I'm more prepared for things as far as like postpartum than I was when I first had Olivia. Speaking of like food and like feedings and stuff, I did document my lactation journey. That video is just taking me a little bit longer to edit because the footage is like all over the place. Like, I have footage some on my camera, I have some footage like on my phone. I do have a lactation journey video coming out, and it will be out before I have my baby, hopefully. I want to document both lactation experiences for YouTube and just kind of compare to what it was like before I knew anything or very little about it to what I have coming up this year. I'm one of those moms, just so you know, like I could end up talking about my kids this entire video, and I know I haven't had my second child yet, but I do have kids. Like, in my head I got like a house full of children. Yeah, but speaking of my kids, so let's talk about my pregnancy then 2019 versus my pregnancy so far now, because I did do like a pregnancy announcement with the Skims, but I didn't talk about like the differences in my pregnancies, and I have seen a lot of differences, so let me just transition into that while we're talking about them. I'm gonna go in with the Sephora Micro Smooth powder, and this is in matte tan 35, and I'm going to take that actually on a dry Real Technique sponge. I'm going to take it like on that flat side and just kind of rub it around in there and do my initial set under my eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of blend that all the way in with the sponge before I go in with my baking powder. I have been experiencing like the craziest amount of mom guilt this pregnancy, and I think it's because I feel like I am spread thin a little bit as far as my attention to, you know, my toddler versus like my little fetus inside of me. It's like when I was pregnant with Olivia, I was so attentive to every single little thing, every kick, every movement, every like, just from the beginning to end, I felt so connected to her. Like, just knowing that there was a little person growing and thriving inside my body, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, even before I could feel her move, I was very, very in tune with what was going on in there. Like, I couldn't feel her move, but just her presence was just so there. This time around, I feel like I haven't really felt that, and it's made me feel so bad and so guilty for my baby girl that's on the way. I am having a girl, by the way. I'm having another girl, which I think is just perfect. So now that that is applied under my eye and down the bridge of my nose, I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution Banana Deep Setting Powder, and I'm going to use that to actually bake my under eye. And I just tapped a little bit of that off onto the table, and I'm going to dab it onto the back of my hand like that using that same Sonia sponge, and I'm just going to tap that in and kind of let that bake under there for a second. Ooh, that is a lot. I am going to have problems dusting this away. I'm going to take a Makeup Shack, oh sorry, this is not Makeup Shack. This is a Morphe M552 brush, and I just dipped a little bit of that into that setting powder. So I am going to kind of go down the bridge of my nose like that as well. And we'll just let that sit for a second. But yeah, I was feeling so guilty because I felt like now I'm back at work. I go to work 4 days a week. And now that I'm back at work, I have to commute a pretty good way to pick up my daughter every day after work. And then when we get home, it's time for like bath time and, you know, obviously some interaction and some playtime if I have the energy to squeeze that in, because, you know, interacting with her is extremely important to me, that she has that stimulus since she's not in daycare or anything. So I'm going to take my bronzer. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzer in the shade Mahogany. And I'm going to use that just to kind of just add some depth to my crease. But that's about it. I'm not going to really do any eyeshadow. Doing all of that and attending to her has taken away from my attentiveness to this particular pregnancy. And I was actually at work talking to another mom who is the mom of a 2-year-old, and she is expecting as well. And she said that she had the same mom guilt and the same issue. Comment down below if you have had this issue with your second pregnancy, no matter how old your first baby was. Did you have an issue, or did you feel like you gave more attention to your first pregnancy, like to your baby while they were in your womb during the first pregnancy, than you did to your baby during the second pregnancy? And also, moms of multiple children, 2 or more children, please let me know if that will continue. Like, am I gonna feel spread thin? Do I need to expect to feel, well, obviously I'm gonna feel like I'm spread kind of thin, but do you have that mom guilt, like that one child is getting more attention than the rest or than the others? And like, what do you do to kind of get out of your head as far as that goes? Like, what do you do to combat that energy? My morning sickness was different this time. I feel like it was a little bit more intense. And then again, looking hindsight, I don't know if my morning sickness was like more intense, or if I just felt more miserable with it because I still had to keep functioning and still had to keep going. Also, my food preferences are a lot different. There are foods that I love or have loved in the past that I can't even stand the smell of them right now. And salmon is one of them. Love salmon. Absolutely love salmon. And I'm going to claim that I still love salmon. And the only reason I can't dig it right now is because of the pregnancy. It's like I'll think something is a good idea to eat, and then I'll eat it, or I'll prepare it and don't even want to eat it. And I'm just kind of like, that is weird. Like, I love salmon. I love Chipotle. I had Chipotle, got so sick, and I thought, you know, just being paranoid with all the stuff that has gone on with Chipotle in the past, I said, oh my God, I finally got it. I finally got sick from Chipotle. No, it wasn't even that. It was just, I think the pregnancy, I just can't tolerate it right now. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of that bronzer on my nose. And I think I put too much. Shoot. This brush is too dense. What was I thinking? This is gonna look dumb. And lastly, my anxiety. I have crazy anxiety this pregnancy. And I think it's because of what I went through with my first labor and delivery. And I have my labor and delivery story also on this channel. If you're interested, definitely go back and watch a few videos back and watch that video. But I just have anxiety being an African American woman, even making it through labor and delivery. Now, I am having a C-section this time, but that anxiety, I can't even lie, is still there. Like, I just pray that, you know, I just pray for a safe and speedy C-section, and that, you know, me and my baby are well into the safe limits. I mean, I had a lot of complications during labor and delivery, and I had a lot of complications even after I got home, and it was really scary. And now that I have even more to live for, because I have a daughter that I already had, it has just made my anxiety like on 10. It's like I pray about it constantly and just pray for God's covering and protection over me and my children and my husband. because and you know, just pray for clear thoughts, especially for me and my husband, because he too had a very traumatic experience. I can just easily think about the darkest thing, and it can really get up into my head and just kind of eat me up. So I've been trying to have positive thoughts, and I need to improve my self-care this pregnancy. I said I was going to do that. Self-care definitely needs to be improved. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my waterline with the Wet n Wild Color Icon Kohl eyeliner. Oh, it's been so long. It has been so long since I have done my makeup, and especially since I wore eyeliner in my waterline, because I usually skip this step like every time. I can't take it. My birthday is coming up. I will be 35 years old. 35 where? Yeah, I gotta pamper myself for the rest of this pregnancy. It is vital and important. So for the rest of this pregnancy and beyond this pregnancy, we're gonna be pampering ourselves for sure. Now I have to do my wing liner, and I'm gonna use this doesn't have a label on the bottle, but this is the L'Oreal liquid liner. Let's see if I still know how to do this. Not bad, Wit. Haven't been out the game for a minute. That's not bad. That's not a bad wing liner. And matter of fact, I'm probably going to take that pencil and connect it, because it look a little bit weird in the outer corner. Let's see. So I'm going to take a random blush brush that I got from, I want to say Groupon. And I'm going to dust away all that baking powder. My wings never look the same, and I think it's because I apply them. It applies differently when I'm right-handed, so the right one, because it's on this side, is just going to look slightly different than this one. I wish they were a little bit more up. Okay, so now I'm about to pick apart my wing and be super picky, and I just said that for my first time back, they look pretty decent. So let me just stop tripping and move on. I'm kind of just letting my hair do whatever it wants to do these days. I went to a barber and got it cut, and I was so happy with what he did. I will insert a photo. Of my cut when I first got it done, but it has grown out beautifully. Like, my taper is still there. I haven't had a whole lot of maintenance to hang on to the taper, which I really like, because I just don't have the time, and I try to limit my time in public areas anyway, because of the pandemic. So I'm glad that my taper has lasted as long as it did, and it's just growing out so pretty. And I washed it last night, and I just did kind of like a little wash and go and slept on it. And I literally just popped a headband on before this video, and I'm really liking how it turned out. I think my curls look so much healthier. The postpartum shedding has improved so much. Look how thick I am around the perimeter now. And you can tell I was definitely shedding, because all these little short sprigs, like under here where he did not use the clippers, yeah, that's all kind of like growing back. And for lashes, I'm just going to use the Kiss So Wispy lashes, and I just have them in a pack like this. I'm going to take 2 pair and stack them on top of each other. At the end of this year, I had to do all my Christmas shopping under distress. Like 2 weeks ago, my mom fell and broke her wrist while we were on the phone, actually. It was the craziest phenomenon ever. And yeah, she fell and broke her wrist. So I live about an hour and a half away from her. So as soon as I got off from work, I went there, me and my daughter, and we spent the weekend with her, because she virtually couldn't do anything for herself and she lives alone. So yeah, I spent the weekend that I was supposed to be doing my Christmas shopping nursing and taking care of my mom, which was fine. Like, I mean, it made things a little sticky for me, but she definitely was my top priority in that moment. I pretty much worked Monday through Wednesday, and then in between my commute to go pick up my daughter every day after work, I had to like get all my Christmas shopping in. Okay, lashes are on. So I forgot to put my mascara on beforehand, but I'll go ahead and put it on now. It's the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. It's the mascara that I always use, and I just bought myself a new tube yesterday. And I'm just going to kind of go underneath and blend my lashes in with these. I recently bought this Morphe M405 brush, and I want to use that for my bronzer today. And I'm using the same Anastasia Mahogany bronzer. And I'm just going to kind of sweep that in like kind of a circular motion, back and forth like that. I hope this video was interesting. I mean, I know I spent most of it talking about one thing. I didn't really touch on a multitude of things, but I really didn't feel the need to completely recap 2020 because we all experienced it together. Again, it made the postpartum loneliness a little bit more easy for me, because seeing those like alone together commercials, I'm like, yeah, we are kind of like alone together because nobody is able to really go out right now. But I'm looking forward to things opening back up again. Like, I'm a very social person, and I like to go out. I like to have a reason to put on clothes and just interact with other people. And so I'm really looking forward to everything, like with the pandemic ending. I cannot say that I'm one of the ones that will be jumping in line to take this vaccine that's out on the market. It just has not been out long enough for my comfort zone. But that's just a personal preference. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. Like, is the vaccine something that you support as far as like getting it yourself? Or is it something like, nah, I'm good, I'm about to chill on this vaccine type of thing? Let me take a quick little break so I can do my reel. And I'm going to jump back in and we'll do our lips for the end of this video. Bro, the struggle for these reels, I'm telling you, like, there is definitely an art. So look, if you're watching this video, go to my Instagram. I'm gonna link it right here on the screen, and show me some support on my Flight Beauty reel. Also show the owner of Flight Beauty some support, and definitely order. Her lipsticks are really good, and I'm telling you, they are going to last you all day, because I'm scrubbing hard as shit to get this off, and I am struggling. This is not new, this is just new to me, but it's just the Fenty Beauty Uncensored red lipstick, and I wanted to do that for this particular tutorial, but I definitely wanted to do a reel using the two Flight Beauty lipsticks that I have. And that red is very vibrant that I just had on. It is called, but yeah, so I am just going to pop this lip liner on. This is the NYX Suede lip pencil in the shade Cold Brew. And I'm really wearing this because I can't find my Mented Cosmetics lip liner, which is what I prefer at the moment because it just glides better than anything that I have. But that's okay, we're going to go with Cold Brew. And then I'm going to take this Fenty Uncensored liquid lipstick, and I'm just going to apply that If you know of some tips as far as like some tools I could use to make my reels better on Instagram, please let me know. I'm all for it. Also, if you enjoyed this Chatty Get Ready with me and you also prefer like my talk through videos versus my voiceover, let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, so I got some stuff coming up for y'all. I'm not sure which order I'm gonna do everything in, but if there's anything in particular you want to see as far as like mommy content, makeup looks, anything you think I need to touch on, just again let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.